She turned back to her apartment guide, not quite sure what to make of him. Mac purred, and she stroked his fluffy orange fur. Then she looked out the windshield at the man, now standing at the back of a small crowd. He stood straight with his arms crossed and interacted with no one. There was something there, something a little different about him somehow, but she couldn't quite put her finger on it. Or was it just that he stayed back away from the other people that made him stand out to her? He was pretty standard looking, tall, dark hair, jeans and t-shirt. Well, standard wasn't the right word. Around here, the lack of man bun made him seem unique. She laughed and went back to her apartment guide. She started making calls to a few of the apartments to ask some key questions. The ones she didn't like to ask in person because people looked at her like she was a crazy paranoid. Then the group of people moved down the row of storage units, closer to her. Mac changed to pause on the dash so he could look out the windshield at the people. Just a few more minutes, buddy. She dialed the next number. She wasn't having much luck so far finding a place that met her requirements. A man wearing work pants and a t-shirt with the name of the storage facility on it cut the lock on the unit where the crowd was gathered. He lifted, and the roll-up door rumbled up on its track. An older man, surely the auctioneer, started giving statistics about the unit, while all the people craned to get a look inside. Once everyone had taken a look, the auction started. The man from before remained behind the rest of the crowd. He made a bid $100 higher than what the auctioneer called for, and several people turned and glared at him. He adjusted his rectangular glasses, recrossed his arms, and remained focused straight ahead. She realized she'd stopped apartment hunting and was just watching him. She didn't like to admit to herself when she found a man attractive, but that wasn't what really had her attention. She narrowed her eyes. He knows something. He knows there's something of value in that unit that the others don't see. Or was he just stupid? No, he definitely wasn't stupid. She crossed her arms and studied him. A few seconds later, the auctioneer announced that the man had won the auction. The crowd started to disperse, except the man who'd won. He walked up to the auctioneer, surely to finish the transaction. A glint from across the way caught her eye. She turned back to the man. The auctioneer shifted around to the other side of him and drew him a couple of feet over. She put her blazer in gear in reverse and eased on the gas, wondering if the man had any idea he was about to die. Cash only. Of course, Lyndon said, as if he didn't know the auction had to be paid in cash. The beat-up blazer that he'd walked past earlier started backing up. He'd wondered why she'd sat there for so long. The auctioneer, Walter, thumbed through his papers. And there is the matter of the auction fee. Yes, of course. Lyndon had his hand on his cash in his pocket. How much is the total? He already knew the answer, of course, but thought it might be rude not to wait for Walter to calculate the simple figure. The blazer drove forward now, slowly around them, rather close to the line of storage units on the opposite side of the drive lane. And you'll need to have the unit emptied within 48 hours, Walter said. Lyndon did his best to keep annoyance out of his tone. What was the total? The door to the blazer opened, and the young woman with the odd cat got out and opened the back door as well. Then she jogged toward him, and her long dark braid bounced on her shoulder. Hey, can I ask you something? Lyndon watched her approach, though he knew he shouldn't, even while Walter talked to him. She looked like she had Native American blood in her veins. He saw it mostly in her eyes, large and dark, framed with long lashes. You bought that unit, right? Can I buy something from there off you? Walter rested a hand on her arm and attempted to guide her to the side. We're almost done here, then you can talk.